Segment 2, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny and Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. CommunityPolicingCaps24.org. Jewish Chicago will be coming out mid-October for your early voting pleasure. Contact me if you'd like to participate. It is a pleasure to, through my friend Sean Tunner, we started along the path of getting different people involved with the South Sudanese community, of course, to give you, I'll let them give you the background because they were really there and saw it was happening. Many people know of it as Darfur. It's something that at the time I was very in favor of President Clinton getting involved. He didn't. Only one country did, as a matter of fact, and I'll let you guess who. But it is a pleasure to introduce you to two gentlemen from the Lost Boys of Sudan. And they both have titles, but I don't necessarily know every title with every organization. But somebody returning, I want to thank you for being here again, Peter Magai Bul.
Nice to meet you, Abby.
Thank you. And this is the present president of the Chicago chapter of the South Sudanese Community Association. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Chicago Association for the Lost Boys of Sudan.
Oh, for the Lost Boys of Sudan. I'm sorry. I knew I was going to get that wrong. Okay.
Worry.
And that's
You're almost there.
Yeah, Gabriel Dut. How are you?
Yes, Gabriel Dut. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. So, what's going on? There's unfortunately problems happening right now.
Oh, right now, South Sudan is in a very terrible situation. There was a small semi-civil war that happened in 2013, and then in August of last year, that war ended, and the two leaders had a peace deal that was signed, and then a week ago, a little less than a week ago, there has been another conflict. So now the capital city of Juba is in a complete state of turmoil, and the city is the conflict has ended now because the two leaders have come on TV and talk about ceasefire, but the people are completely in a complete state of shock, because nobody expected it to happen so soon again. So.
Yeah, and just to add something to what Gabriel said, we have the former vice president, according to the peace agreement that they signed in August of last year. He became the first vice president, and then we have the second vice president. So what happened actually on Thursday, they were in a meeting, and the problem just started outside the state house, where the presidential guard turned bullet among themselves, and they start killing themselves. And that started to spread within the city. But good enough, they were in one room, all three of them, the president, the first vice president, and the second vice president. So they went to the TV, appealed to the people for calm, and that actually helped. But then on Friday, it started over again and then went on until Sunday night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we already have about 300 people, according to what has been reported so far, that have lost their life. So many people displaced. And this is the country that has been war, So we are afraid that there is a chance that this conflict might spread over again.
There's fear right now that this could reignite in a second, I take it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the problem is when the peace was signed, these two leaders they both had their own armies. The second vice president has his own army, and the president has his own bodyguards, and the regular army is still there. So this problem started between these two armies of the president and the vice president, and it started on Friday just because there was misunderstanding, and according to some news sources, it was somebody's gun went off, and the people thought the other side was attacking them, and it started the conflict, and 5 people got killed in that situation. But the second wave came as another false news that somebody heard, and that triggered the second fight, and so it became a retaliatory fight between the groups. And now things are quiet. They've been quiet now for a couple of days. So we hope this, when the two leaders came on TV and talked to the people, it has calmed the situation.
I hope so, because if it takes that little to set off that kind of problem,
yes,
it goes to show that it's not the most solid, safe situation going.
Yeah, one of one of the challenges is that there seem to be lack of trust among these leaders, and people of Southern Sudan have actually lost trust in these leaders. So personally, I just really don't see a way these leaders are going to move forward with the peace agreement that they signed in August. We even don't know today where the vice president is. And so, being from the country and knowing what they have been through for the last 2 years before they signed this peace agreement, I personally think, this country is going back to war. I hope that would not be the case, but the way things are looking right now, there's a chance that this country might end up going back to war. And so it's good that you have us here, because I think if there was anything to stop it right now, it would be the regional government, meaning if the leaders of the neighboring countries could come together, say, for example, Kenya, Ethiopia, Uganda, Rwanda. If they were to come together and intervene, I think this is the way I personally think this war could be stopped. Otherwise, I'm afraid that, we are going back to war.
What are the chances of something like that happening? Are those leaders friendly with each other? Or?
Yeah, those leaders, yes, some of them are, and some of them have formed themselves into alliances where some leaders are friends with other leaders and things like that. But when the peace was signed, it was the regional leaders who convened these two sides to come to a peace agreement with the pressure from the Troika countries, which include the United States, Britain, countries like Norway, who have been very instrumental through the South Sudanese conflict over the years, and and the Security Council. So those were the people who put pressure on these two leaders to come to some agreement. But right now, it is not even up to the leaders. It has gone to a situation where the soldiers themselves have reached a point where they are not even listening to their leaders. So this situation is like a pressure cooker that can be set off by something that is so small as if somebody, a false news or some kind of, something, a hearsay. So we're just hoping that this situation come to some, the leaders put more pressure on the people below them to put a stop to what is happening right now.
Do you think the leaders are really sincere about wanting peace?
I think yes. For the leaders, so, yeah. I think it has come down to political survival. So their goal is now to protect themselves. Yeah, but they are really not there now to protect the civilian.
Well,
people have lost faith in them.
That's not unusual in government.
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Yes.
Yeah, but they have to, because right now, they were put there when some of them were taken to the peace table, kicking, screaming. But right now, they see no any other way out but to be together as both leaders, because that is the only way the country can be kept in place.
No, listen, I hope that's what happens. Even if it's for a greedy, selfish, self-serving reason, peace is always a really good thing to have.
Absolutely. We hope that is what these two leaders understand.
It's the role we have been playing, and I hope our people in the diaspora, will take this upon themselves and appeal to the people, not to take this country back to war.
Yeah, if people would like to contact the Lost Boys of Sudan, how can they contact you guys?
Yeah, they can contact us through, we have our website, Chicago Association for the Lost Boys of Sudan, or lostboyschicago.com.
Yeah,
and they can contact, there's a link there that has our contact's name, and they can contact us through that.
Terrific. Peter Magai Bul, Gabriel Dut, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Abby.
Thanks for having us, Abby, again.